Hey folks, welcome back here to the Season 6 CEVO LAN MLG Pro League here at Columbus, Ohio in the MLG Arena. We are about to go live with Map 2 on Inferno between Nylem and CLG, where CLG do have that one map lead. But first, I want to tell you about a little something we're doing for you folks out there, which is giving away some free swag, and that is going to be an M4 Battle-Scarred Cyrex, and you can just use the code word hashtag ZappoCyrex in chat to enter in a chance to win that free giveaway there. And we will also be giving out a free flip knife later on during match number 2. So if you want to get in on that, definitely go ahead and just type in that keyword in chat and get yourself in the running. But we are about to go into that map 2 Inferno. What do you got here, man? What do you think, Miss Led?
All right, so going into Inferno right now, this is going to be CLG's side choice because it was picked by Nylem, so they're going to go CT side. But we've seen CLG already in this LAN struggle on CT side. And I talked about it earlier. They need to make this a CT side where they're not fighting for just 4 or 5 rounds. You talked about it. This is a double-digit CT-sided map. You don't get those double digits T-side. Even if you have a super strong T-side, you drop 1 round, all of a sudden momentum switches over in second half, and you lose that game.
Yeah, and when it comes to Inferno, this is the one map in the pool where we actually have seen CLG struggle in the past. I mean, obviously they have huge wins on Dust 2 against big teams like Indius and Titan in some recent events. We've obviously seen them play well on Cash very recently. You know, that's how they helped qualify for Katowice, was off of a Cash win against Gamers 2. Also just doing really well against North American teams on Cash recently, like C9, like Elevate, in some recent play, especially at this tournament. They've won Cash now twice at this tournament. It's a very good map for them. You know, they like to play Mirage, had some success against any teams here. But Inferno is that one map where they've struggled a little bit, actually, against some teams head-to-head, against teams like Elevate, and also losing to this Nylem team online recently in a one-sided fashion. But Hayes ensures me they've been putting a lot of work into it. We'll see if they have or not.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be the time that they need to shine. So what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to throw it back up top to Launders and Helium, and we're going to get this underway as soon as we can.
Thanks, guys. I am really looking forward to this Inferno map. So finally on the LAN, we're going to have another map to show up. It's not just going to be the Cash Dust 2 showdown, although we might actually see Dust 2 if this goes to map 3, because Nylem, even though they didn't win that first map, they've got to feel great themselves, having almost brought it back.
Yeah. No, they obviously don't want to have to go to this map. I mean, that's the last thing on their mind. But at the same time, that being CLG's map pick, they're going to feel okay. And at this point, because they didn't pick the map, as Miss Led pointed out, Nylem are going to have the ability to start on the... Oh, they're actually starting T-side.
Yeah, I was also a little confused by that. Nylem, I was going to say, with that momentum and starting on the better side there, but no. They're just going to go straight for it. And if they can get the pistol, I mean, of course, that's going to be great for your T-side Inferno. But looking back at the previous map, Sanks with an AK is unreal. So maybe you can do it for them here. But so far, Hayes and Cutler doing nice. Cutler actually gets 2 with that USP. And Flosick and Chaos, the last 2 remaining members for Nylem. An alternate in top of mid. Let's see what they can do. They are getting flanked now from the banana. That's going to be Tarek there. Oh, but brought down. And when that B push dies, I mean, that site is open. Nylem might realize this, but so far the bomb looks like in Boiler. It is not budging off of that. Still plenty of time in the round.
Yeah, in a 2v3 situation, they do have a lot of options. There's still a minute left on the clock, and Flosick, working the apps by himself with the bomb, is going to try to find a pick. Now, they both have full HP. That's the one thing they have going for him. Professor Chaos is still on the board and has 2 frags already in the round, so provided CLG are going to split up quite a bit. I think they're aware it's going to be a 2-1 setup, and some noise was made with that peek from Professor Chaos, so as this round plays out, they're going to be working towards A. FNS is looking to take an engagement right here and now. Misses the headshot. Is going to get scored. Professor Chaos opens up the site. 3rd frag on the round. Wrapping the site. Looking for the player in play. And Cutler is going to get a nice headshot on him. And so it's a 1v2 for Flosick.
Yeah, that's Cutler's 3rd on the round here. Only 9 bullets, but it doesn't matter. Just needs 2 more to bring down Flosick. And that's 1 round here for CLG. It is that pistol. And we just want to remind you about that giveaway for the Cyrex, that M4A1S Cyrex. Code word there, hashtag ZappoCyrex for your chance to win.
Barring a really surprising pistol or eco round win from Nylem, I'd like to say, I think that even though CLG have mentioned, or Peter has mentioned when we talked to him, that that Inferno is not one of their best maps. I mean, he went right out and said it, and they're crummy on Inferno. And they expected Nylem to pick it, which is the other thing. They wasted their ban on Season because they definitely don't want to play that, but that means that they have to be slightly confident about the fact that they're playing Inferno, and also confident about the fact that Nylem played into their hand by picking the map that they knew they would. So with that being said, I don't know if that means they wish they had 2 bans. I'm sure they did, but at the same time, they banned the map that they knew they would have more trouble on. So them starting on Inferno might be a good thing for them. And again, this is the first like really CT-sided map that anyone's played at this event, right? We had Nylem ban Overpass, for example. We haven't seen Nuke. And I think that means that CT rounds will be easier to come by
Might actually see CTs win some rounds.
Honestly.
Who knew? Look at this, though. Professor Chaos able to get through that arch. It doesn't go unnoticed, though. Peter chasing him down. And now they're going to start working it. You're going to have a 3-1 split here on B, which is not common. Professor Chaos able to get 1. It is going to be cleaned up by Peter, who is chasing him from that library. Now Tarek trying to deal with Sinks. Sinks up in the dumpster, and Tarek will clean him out. Valens moving over towards mid. Can't get one with the Glock. MP7 prevails, and now CLG, they survive. The anti-eco, and they've got 2 on the board.
Yeah, I mean, we're spending time talking about these rounds, but because Nylem weren't actually able to get the bomb down, I'm sure they would have liked to buy, and it would be a complete force here that would actually catch CLG off guard. They could go for Galils if they wanted to and are going to opt not to, and they would do that, you know, based on the knowledge that CLG only have MP7s, and actually Peter only has a 5.7 still, but running the risk of the Galil by RCLG, knowing that MP7s are still going to be pretty good versus rifles that aren't straight up AKs and M4s. That's the second round for CLG. They kept a lot of players alive on the back of Tarek's really nice B hold, finding those 1-taps with the MP7. And the walk over to B with no, yeah, they do have 2 smokes and 2 mollies. So they're going to molly off the back of the site, maybe throw a plant smoke here. And, oh, that plan is interrupted with a molly, and FNS actually gets a frag, but the players with the smokes haven't died yet, and they don't know that it's going to be B.
Yeah, and that Molotov kind of kept automatic over there, forcing him to peek, and he was brought down and was dissolved. But now we're going to see Chaos try to, I thought he was going to molly out oranges there. We'll bring it back in, that smoke. Still at the top, and look at Tarek, he's got 1 more, so they can buy some time. Molly's gonna go out, we'll hit the skybox and fall back down. Smoke into CT spawn, and they're gonna go for it, but a big flash. That's just on Flowsick. He'll come in last as a result of that, but more. And that's why I called the dumpster. Everyone throwing their flashes into it. Terrorists delayed up, but they are gonna get through. 1 into the site right now. He'll bring down FNS. That's Professor Chaos, but he does not have the bomb. Sanks is there with him. They're gonna try to get that construction control. We can see Peter, I believe, back there in the sandbags. It's a spot that can't catch you off guard. But the bomb, down there at the entrance on the CT side of construction. And it's going to be Cutler and Hayes that can just clean it up. So 3 surviving members and now 3 rounds on the board for CLG.
Yeah, deaths have happened on the bomb spot for the previous 3 rounds. No plants have happened, and that's why CLG had a breeze coming into that round and not allowing it to go down. While also keeping some players alive. Now Peter's going to hang on to that op or actually buy one for himself. Valens is actually only going to have a Galil here, though I think he had more than enough money to buy an AK, so I'm not sure why he did that considering he has so many nades, unless that was dropped for him, which probably answers that question for sure. Peter holding arch, they're going to have a very standard 3-2 setup here, nothing special, and Flowsick going to flash himself through the smoke. Won't find a frag just yet, but they have top banana control now.
Oh, and getting him jumping up onto the sandbags. That's Tarek with 1. Lights up another. Finesse is there for that trade out onto Chaos. And they're playing from CT. Is going to be brought down by Valens. Oh, the boiler player automatic trying to lurk up. Gets shut down by Hazed. Does a bit of lurking himself. Valens now moving in with the AK. It's going to be a tough one. Will he do the little jump peek over here? Nah, he'll just peek out and doesn't even get a chance to pull the trigger. Tarek brings him down, and that's a big 3K for the B defender.
Yeah, we saw Tarek there get a really nice first frag after Flowsick had pushed up into Banana, and that was for free. And then tried to transfer a spray onto a second player. Kind of missed a little bit, but FNS came out with a very quick trade, saved Peter, and maintained their B control, and that's why they didn't have to force any over rotates, and that was very also great awareness from Hayes to check that boiler after his teammate just ran right by it, automatic, allowing him to do so as well.
All right, and now we've got Peter with that op. It looks like he'll be taking it into the long haul of apartments. Not going to see any action with it there, but maybe if he's forced to rotate over or Nylem switches their mind, it goes A. could be difficult. We've got some players getting aggressive there down middle, so I think CLG
Yeah.
getting a lot of information off of that. Might even just run into, I believe it's Valens there by the light post in middle.
Yeah, that's the risk you run when you commit 5 players to something and don't actually execute right away, getting flanked. But looking to push down, and this is what happens. They take too long. Hayes is already on the flank, and they're stuck on Banana. They're going to have to either push up or go back, and neither option is going to be that fun. Now, Tarek pushing down is also going to get some frags. Flowsick hits him with the P250. Tarek comes in for the flank and grabs the second flag on the round.
Beautiful, and with that round victory, 5 in a row, we're going to go into a Turtle Beach team chat with CLG and see how they are feeling.
Story of my life, searching for the right, but it keeps affording me.
Can we go for the Baron still?
Dude,
What?
I don't know what to do at
What are
top lane.
you saying?
Honestly, top lane's a little bit of a struggle. I've been trying to do what Zion Spartan does, but I can't.
I'm smoking top
teleporting
car.
bottom.
I'm smoking car.
Teleporting bottom.
Smoking car.
Dude,
I couldn't blow
did you
this.
flash?
I
Flash,
smoked car,
flash,
I
flash,
smoked
flash.
Oh no, I didn't.
This guy throws a flashbang.
Smoking mid.
I meant, oh.
I could let
One's
go
in
of this
all
if you
already?
want.
Let go, let go, let go, let go, let go.
Okay.
Watching a house right now.
I'm playing rotate area.
I got the. I don't have a smoke for mid.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and jump up, okay?
Flashing mid.
Can you hold a flash for me, Finas?
Yep. I can flash over for you.
Nothing boiler
Okay,
yet.
do it.
Flashing right now.
One house. Just heard him.
Can
He's close.
2 more there.
He's falling back.
Okay, I'm sitting CT, watching ramp.
Just 2 outside B. Just commit to B with me. Commit to B with me. Have a smoke? Green
No,
guy?
Molly.
Can you guys double push lane or something?
We're watching boiler. Like,
They have
We're
it.
double lane right now.
I got
I'm
this.
gonna
I got
mol-
this.
Okay.
They can get CT on.
BX.
Molly
Molly's here.
CB.
There was one house.
No, I
Watch out
think
boiler.
that's
Watch
it. I
out
think it's
boiler.
a fake. I think it might be a.
You're in a Molly, Peter. Could be a re-hit, Garrett.
One's coming out boiler.
Coming to mid.
Yeah, I think it's.
Rotate.
I'm
Rotate.
going B. I'm going.
Molly mid.
Just smoked the lane, sorry.
Stay B.
Sorry. Good wrap.
Could
I
be
got
wrap.
rap. I got rap. I got rap.
Mauling halls.
One dead B.
One lane. Wrap.
One B. One B. 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 B.
Just one wrap.
I think they're B. They're coming in. They're coming in.
Nice Finas.
Nice.
Bomb is low. Bomb is low. Bomb is low.
I'm back call with you. I'm back call.
He's low.
Stay
Bomb
alive.
is low. I'm gonna go water with him. Can you
Spawn.
stay there? Can you
Hey,
actually?
just
I'm gonna
retake.
hide.
Just do the retake.
Alright,
Just
I'm
do
staying
the
with you.
retake.
Actually,
I'm blind.
You can flash over.
Molly to soft.
flash
Molly-
over.
Try box.
not yet.
Flash
Not yet. We're mollied.
Oh, fuck.
One
Alright,
banana.
we're
Try.
I'm blind. I'm blind.
Going. Peeking.
Try
dead.
it. I think there's one banana.
I'm holding banana.
Oh, banana?
Hold banana.
Banana.
Banana, but last guy. Refuse. Good job.
Good job, boys. Good fucking retake.
Keep it up, baby.
And I know that he knows I'm unfaithful, and it kills him inside to know that I'm happy
voice is beautiful.
with some other guy.
I swear.
All right, well, we'll see how the Baron buff works for CLG here in round 7. One of their players apparently playing League of Legends, and they are happy singing down there in the booth.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Turtle Beach for that amazing moment of Counter-Strike. FNS singing his pipes out, and that was a solid retake in the midst of that funny moment. Now, Nylem struggling to get around, just got shut down and almost got the bomb down. FNS really made a big play for his team, getting a couple of frags there and getting the bomb low as he mentioned in the comms. And now they're pushing up mid and they're getting some picks, but the trades are really good.
Yeah, 3-on-2 just like that. CLG with the man advantage. So the last one was kind of close. And something else to know, I mean, amidst the singing there, once they got to the calls, they did bite pretty hard on that fake. Like, they rotated over and left FNS all alone. And Peter, as he was saying, you know, he was watching the wrap, but he was not towards the B side. And here we go, Sanks in a 1-on-3. It's going to be CLG now taking 7 in a row. CT's winning rounds here at CEVO Land.
Yeah, no, for once. But again, we mentioned this is because it's Inferno. I mean, if CLG managed to blow a CD side on Inferno, I would have to say it's the LAN itself that is doing something to these players. But looks like they're feeling pretty solid, and the play is solid. And even as you mentioned, biting on a fake still managed to come through with the victory. Means they still have their heads in the game and performed a really nice retake on that round to keep them alive. Put Nylem on a save, and once again, we are looking at a bye Now, last time we saw them flash through the smoke. Will we see that again? Because that banana control was given up to them. This time, they're watching it, but they're actually going to fall off.
It's Sanks to do it this time, and just as they do push on through, well, I don't know if automatic, they were both very blind from that, but hey, they get through, and luckily for them, I think the CTs had actually fallen back. That's Finesse and Tarek holding down B, and CLG not giving up too much map control this time. They had that Arch player somewhat aggressive. It will fall back just now. That was Peter doing that. As Cutler holding down that truck side. It's Professor Chaos at the top of mid.
Yeah, and with Nylem, at this deficit, I wonder what they're thinking.
Well, Tarek boosting on oranges here. I don't think they've actually utilized this spot here at B, so he's going to be able to do a lot with it. Oh my gosh, just the spray down. He will get blind afterwards, and Finesse, his ally here at the B side, gets the next one. Doesn't find the second. Professor Chaos, who was lurking this round for Nylem, comes in, brings down FNS, finds himself in a 1-on-4 though. I can't get any more than 1 kill, so CLG now with 8. And well, we'll see what Nylem spirits are like. We're going to go to a Turtle Beach team chat with Nylem.
I'm going to drop a gun for Tim. I want to go Molly back car. I think you guys just group up and walk in Andrew go halls and like just scare you to pinch. Yep, that's perfect. Take the bomb. Guys, don't get down yourself. Let's go. T-side Inferno. We can win a lot here.
Flashing mid.
They naded down. Oh my god.
Pinch.
Got one mid.
Pinch lid.
Left mid, left mid.
Yep, upper left mid. Smoked it out.
Alright, regroup. 5v3.
Topping. I heard no one B.
I'm going boiler.
Okay.
I only have a smoke.
We should try it. We should try like walking if you're pinching B from Arch.
It's just 5 block B, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do it. I'm peeking this corner.
Let me
There's
walk
smoke
through.
mid.
I think can someone smoke as I walk in?
No, I think we should just go.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Let me go on the right. Clear my left. Clear my right.
Yeah,
clear my
You're
right,
so
clear
ahead
my
of
right.
us.
What CT?
CT.
Smoke. CT.
Smoked it out. Smoke CT.
I'm back call.
He's gonna re-push through the smoke probably.
Planning barbecue. He could be triple or something. Watch it.
Nice spawn.
Water.
Back
Don't come
home.
water. I'm gonna flash you. Get banana. Oh no, you banana already.
4v3.
Just stay here. Just stay here.
Bait me.
Yep, I'm playing counter flash.
Oh no. I'm emo.
Banana's clear.
They mollied off trap.
They're gonna come for this. They have money, I'd imagine.
Is anybody watching back call run up?
One main.
One back on inside. Emo.
Inside. Back on it.
Dead sight. Main.
Good fucking shit.
Off here, Andrew. Off.
Topping, dude.
Was he in sight the whole time?
No, he was back
He
call.
ran
He ran in.
I'll drop some.
You sure guys important round?
One round at a time.
I love it. Nylem starts that round off with some optimism, saying T-side, we can win a lot here. And look at that. They get it. They make all the right decisions. Like, they laid out their options to us. Oh, let's try to pinch it. Let's walk 5. They take 5 to B. They thought it was empty. They were right. And they win their first round.
Yeah, I think there's strong resolve on that team. I mean, that was Valence there with the words of encouragement, obviously calling strategies for his team and doing a great job, I think. Now, it seemed like there was a lot of clarity. There wasn't a lot of confusion. And I don't know if they sounded down in other rounds, but in that one, they sounded like they knew what they wanted to do. And they played that man advantage. They didn't get too excited. They had some opportunities to take A. They got 2 picks. They didn't act on it fast. They realized 5v3. No sense running any risks here. There's no chance that we should lose this round. And Sanks seeing an opportunity, but Hayes holding strong to that angle, wins the trade in spite of that.
Yeah, you got to get the sweet jump to get out to that balcony as well. So Hayes utilizing a spot that isn't super common, but I mean, should be known. Having that extra height, though, does have a lot of advantage in CSGO. And well, they got that last round, but now Valence and Sanks down. Let's see what Flowsick can do. He's going to be brought down by Cutler on that truck side. Chaos is trying to work his way up on the top of mid here with this op. If he peeks this through the molly, taking a lot of damage. He'd have to battle Peter's op as well. So he's going to fall back.
Something we all want to see.
Yeah, I don't know. We've had a lot of potential for sick op battles, but we've kind of almost been denied on like every map.
Yeah, Professor Chaos last map was taking the boost, and Peter was off in these other places, so we didn't get to see that. We might get to see that right here and now, though, as Professor Chaos is inching on his angle right here, and he's going to walk right into the crosshair. Peter, who takes that slide off angle and wins the duel.
Yeah, and I think that was Professor Chaos peeking that scoped in, so the new scoping speed coming into play, not going for the quick one and then scoping, and that leaves Automatic alone 30 HP here. AK, what can he do? He will get one.
He needs to save, or he's going to have no money.
Oh, they're going to go kill him after time. 8 HP.
Oh.
No way he lives. And yeah, it's honestly the easiest way to get that kill is just take out the knife and hold down left click.
No, he needed the money.
And the 1,500 bucks.
Yeah, so they do secure that, and that does damage to Automatic, who it looks like Professor Chaos is pretty low himself. Now, they don't have guns for this round, but all in all, it's a little bit of an uneven economy. I'm not sure why we didn't have Flowsick or Sanks opt to buy armor. Actually, they already have, so quite a big disparity. And rushing B through the smoke means that they're going to take damage here from Tarek and FNS. And locking down the B site right now with no troubles.
Finesse, not even with enough time to pull out a sidearm. That is that CZ.
Nobody has enough time to pull out a CZ.
That's true. I actually love the animation too. They didn't just make it slower. They made it so you like twirl the clip, jam it in. It all makes sense and flows.
Yeah, I saw. I was watching Freakazoid's stream recently, and he like pulled out the CZ for the first time after playing in 6 months, and he was like, "What the hell? It takes an hour to pull this thing out."
It was rather strong. And speaking of strong pistols, we've got 2 Tech 9s. One of them is on Professor Chaos. So let's see. He has a tendency to get rounds when Nylem needs them the most. And with that Tech 9, when the desperation is there, well, Sanks will find one. He brings down Tarek. So Finesse the only one. And BP now open for business. They don't have the bomb. It's going to be Chaos or Flowsick, I think, to go ahead and scoop it up. It's Flowsick grabbing the bomb. It's still all the way at the base of T stairs. They've got control of the B site, though. And CLG not opting to push down middle. They're all going to rotate through CT, so it'll be up main and construction for this retake.
That would have been a great opportunity, I think, to go A, even though they have the site. But once they were laid up mid, they knew that no one was rotating down there, so they could have at least got a lurk frag, or if not, got a free plant. But now we're going to have to deal with a retake in close quarters, and CLG with a man down. Don't look like they're going to be able to win this, and if they do, it'll be a huge upset. Some early damage done to Flowsick. I wonder if it'll make a difference. Peter, fully aware of a lurk, is keeping an eye out, but doesn't find anything. So is going to turn his aims to the site and hold an angle and catch. Aggressive. Wow, 2
the
frags.
second one there on the automatic. Going to get a third. No, just misses it. The duck there from Flowsick. Oh, look at Valence. Just not letting them. He's sneaky beaky like there in that corner.
Oh,
can't get the kill, but it doesn't matter. They play the clock. It's still a costly round, but Nylem will get another one. And it's very needed. If they can get, honestly, 4 rounds here, pistol on CT, they've got a real shot.
That was well played by Valence in that 2v1. Just making sure there was no opportunity for that bomb to get defused. And Professor Chaos really ran a risk there, peeking Peter, who was waiting for him, when he could have just held Banana and watched the flank. And since the bomb was planted for him, played from there, but instead decided to go out and peek, and Peter capitalized with 2 frags, bringing their round really close. And they do have to be weary of their economy. Now, they're in a situation where they've won a round. They're down by 10 or they're down by 8 and have the opportunity to win 3 more in total. And now we're going to have to do it. But because of Professor Chaos's peak, you could say that might be why he's on a Tech 9 buy alone.
Well, we see Hazed up there on top of the porch there in middle. Sanks is still trying to spam. Keep some players pinned at B, and actually as the bomb is scooped up, it is going towards B initially, so it's actually just going to be Professor Chaos. Tech 9 in armor here, making that distraction and dropping some smokes, trying to work his way out. Boiler, and well, this is a great place for Hayes to be. He will probably not be caught off guard, no. And actually, Cutler from underneath finds it.
Yeah, early trades, and now with 4 players left on Banana, they do not want to commit to it. I'm not sure why. They couldn't have expected Professor Chaos to secure a frag there, but instead are going to work over towards A. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to push the smoke, but since CLG have the man advantage in 5 in total, all players alive can continue to play this 2-3 with no trouble. And now Hayes is going to find a trade and actually gets the pick on a player waiting for him, but the trade comes from Automatic. Very nice on him to do that. And the bomb is working back to B. This is a great rotate. Now the thing is, they have to act with time.
Yeah, and they've got to push the smoke. Okay, that one dissipates. The CT smoke is still there, probably also just going away right about now. Finesse playing from CT coming over, but look at that. Tarek on the spools, gonna get 2. And with no time, Automatic gonna need to save. Not wanting to get knifed after the time.
Nylem aren't able to get that frag, and that means that, I mean, they really didn't give themselves enough time to get in the site slowly, so they needed to get in quickly, look for someone to peek out at them and instantly trade in, and good on Peter. I guess we're staying hidden for the right amount of time, securing that round for his team. Nylem were working it, but didn't have enough time to do it, and that was their folly. Now, as they waited for Hayes to peek out Arch, I think that was the most unfortunate part of the round for them. They waited for Hayes to peek out Arch and still couldn't get that trade instantly. The trades were decent, but better for CLG.
Yeah, Peter doing a bit of gardening at the start of this round. Taking out those pesky flower pots. Oh, he's going to get smoked off on Arch side, though, and the eco, immediately the molly comes out. Beautiful reaction there, and that's going to completely stop that rush. Like, Nylem smokes off one side and then gets molly by CTs on the other.
Yeah.
And we'll see Peter with the op and utilizing, you know, the awning over the A site where he can get that beautiful pop flash off. This time he's just going to throw a really long-range one. That'll pop for Tarek. Only blinds one, though, and it'll be Valens and Sanks to open it up. Peter going to peek now with that 5-7. Still 9 bullets there. And actually, Cutler from the other side finds it. So the A aggression shut down. Cutler get another, but Chaos did manage to sneak himself into the site. He'll plant the bomb, but an almost impossible 1v3. Whoa. But the jumping headshot, if you do the impossible, I guess suddenly it becomes possible. Mollying out there on that close box, and he will finally be gunned down.
Oh man, Kukli would be proud, and I almost choked on nothing there as that that jumping P250 shot was unreal, but still, if we look at the faces of Nylem, they cannot be happy about the fact that they're looking at a best 12-3 half not in their favor, and CLG putting these CT rounds together methodically are able to get the half that they really want and are actually looking to get a 13-2 half, which, you know, 12-3 half is honestly not that bad, not in comparison to 13-2.
I mean, they had to go up against that on cash, and they almost mounted the comeback. Final score 16-13, and this is actually a much more CT-sided map, so they should be able to string them together if they're able to get the pistol. But, you know, not getting the pistol when a team is able to get 13 rounds, like, you lose the pistol, that's 99% of the time the game as well. And they've already taken quite a bit of damage, Nylem. They're moving up now onto the op, and Peter's so quick right there. Hazed also boosted up here in the site, or rather just on the site box. Cutler gets one. That was over towards Boiler. Top of mid, Flowsick moving towards the Arch. He will bring down Finesse. There is a player in Library waiting for him. That's Peter. Misses that op shot. Will have another chance. And oh, Tarek from behind there, going to bring Valens down in the archway, and he will find two, and that's the first half. CLG 13-2.
Yeah, so no surprise there that they were able to get, you know, a really good CT half. I mean, in totality, it resulted in 13 rounds. I mean, that's better than they could have hoped for, I'm sure. Slightly because, in part, due to the pistol, but I mean, look at the kills right here. It's just a dominant performance from CLG across the board, and Professor Chaos the only man to break double digits on Nylem.
Yeah. And even then, he's still -4, only 10 kills. A lot of his team there at 5. Valens a little lower, but some slack because we saw how clear he was as the in-game leader. So he has been doing a great job in that regard. But yeah, lots of action towards B, which allows Tarek and Finesse to pick up 19 and 12 kills respectively. So that's quite a bit. And looks like we're ready for that second half pistol round. And they'll flip sides, so Nylem, this is going to be a very important one.
I mean, it's going to be very important. There's a lot of pressure on it, and they keep a level ahead. They know they have the aim to lock it up. We could see a solid half, a solid comeback from them. But if anything, you know, CLG have been doing well on T side. It's from here on out that Nylem have to prove that they can secure the rounds that should be handed to them as well. But these pistol rounds can be kind of 50-50 sometimes. Pushing through the smoke as Tarek getting punished for it instantly by Valens.
Yeah, the backup wasn't quite there. It was just because Tarek was more in front. He's like, oh, I can get before it blooms, but his teammate couldn't. But look at that, the pop flash in middle. Cutler and Finesse able to kill those flankers, and what can Sanks do here with this laser pistol? Gets some damage in, but doesn't find any kills. And it's CLG to take the A site. Gonna, looks like, put 2 people in pit. One staying in. Oh, getting caught out there is Finesse from the porch side push. On the retake, automatic into the site. Now we're in a quick one-on-one. Both players very, very low, but it will be Peter to get the pistol round. And now CLG only 2 away from taking map 2 and the series 2-0.
Yeah, they ran the cradle there after they lost 2 frags. 1 of 3v5 off of the back of the early trades at mid, and that was the fault of Nylem for getting a little bit too anxious. I think they had the man advantage once again, like they talked about in the round previous. This time couldn't maintain it because they decided to get aggressive, overly aggressive, I'd say, for sure. And definitely wanted to secure that round, but ended up losing it entirely off the back of a nice 1v1 from Peter, and great headshots all around, obviously.
All right, and we're going to be graced by the MAC-10's presence here. Hazed and Peter opting to go for those SMGs. Galil and 2 AKs here, so nice mixture. But it's going to be Valen's actually close range there from CT with the CZ. He'll bring down Peter. So 5-on-4. They do not have the economy advantage, but they do have the man advantage over on Nylem. It's like Finesse will go for a window, try to work down Boiler. Do have to have the knife out, I believe, for that one.
See, they can maintain here, but with CLG only 2 from victory, it's still going to be a tough road. And Nylem on this round can continue to play to 3-2, but at the end of the day, that might not be enough. They might actually have to risk here and play some sort of a stack, but using the one-way smoke, very good on Flowsick to be able to stay calm in a situation like that where you're low on resources and pull off a play like that. Now, working back towards A in a 3v5 once again, will Nylem blow this?
Yeah, and the MAC-10 players, you might expect them to die first because, you know, they're running trying to get the entries, but didn't find them. MAC-10s go the other way. Were even used to get some kills here, and just like that, Nylem now a 4-on-1. Can kill Tarek and take his AK, unless Tarek, I mean, he is one of the top players here at CLG in terms of just raw killing ability, but he can't do it because Professor Chaos, also very good, will bring him down, and that's 3 for Nylem, and not even really going to have to buy like the MAC-10 and the AKs here.
Yeah, I'll chip it in for that. That was a team ace from Nylem doing really good work with each other and securing those frags, shooting a lot of players in the back of the head. You know, Flowsick used the one-way smoke to get a kill for free, and there was a ton of that. So definitely a good sign for them that they were able to do that. Now they are, you know, on their last lifeline here in the upper bracket, and will have to win out just to bring it to the 3rd map. Let alone win the series. And with the rush B, are going to lock it down. Sanks with 2 frags already on the round. Knows one is logs. I think he spotted the bomb there. Is going to try to take him down before he can rotate back. It's in his best interest and runs out of bullets. His players are pushing through the smoke. Now Automatic trades it out for him. But the last player alive, besides Peter, is up in apps. And he's going to try to work something. But Peter, with very low health, is running out of options.
Yeah, even getting smoked off at the T-ramp. That's where the bomb is. They're spamming through. That's Automatic right out there in front of him. Tarek, though, jumping out of the window. Oh, Sanks will find Peter, and he knows that the bomb is there, so there's no way that Nylem give up this one. So they'll bring the gap to within 10 at 14-4. But Tarek will take one more with him. He'll bring down Automatic.
Yeah, a slight consolation prize on a round. That could make a difference. You know, all the economic damage that CLG can do right now is invaluable, as there are so many rounds that Nylem have to win to come back from this. So every player that goes down is a dent in the economy of Nylem, who can't afford to lose a single round. So that means they're going to be trying to buy as much as possible, and that's where the correlation lies. As for Nylem on this A6 setup again, are going against saving players, because CLG actually did spend a lot of money that round and opted to invest in armor to steal back the momentum and weren't able to do it.
Yeah, should be another one here for Nylem. I mean, let's look at the setup of CLG. It looks like they are ready to just sort of explode out. They are going to throw that flash. Professor Chaos will get one quickly. Gets dinked up a little bit there. Has already found one, though, and we'll just hide. He's got a strong position there. They're pinned up here at the top of mid, and now he gets smoked out. So Professor Chaos able to move, and backup coming over from the B site. There's that one player, it looks like Automatic, still holding on to Banana there for Nylem. See if that Finesse can do anything with this P250. He's going to check into that Nook, and he will get him. Finds Sanks, but Professor Chaos from the archway will trade it out. 4-on-3 right now. Peter's picked himself up an AK, and they're going to bring the bomb back down middle towards Banana. And if Automatic can't hold this, it will allow CLG to plant the bomb.
Yeah, what's great about playing forward Banana is that even if you die, you know, you give your teammates a little bit of time to rotate, but he wasn't pushed up all the way down, was definitely peeking a crack there. And now CLG have successfully split up Nylem into a 2-2 setup, and one player is actually receding all the way into CT spawn, so that leaves a lot of pressure on Flowsick to get some frags there, and he comes out with 2 really quickly, that's a third, but Tarek denies that third, even though his teammate came through for the trade, but a very good 2 frag from Flowsick there.
Yeah, we saw them checking all their angles very cautiously, kind of lined up right into the spray of the M4A1S, and that's 5 now on the board for Nylem, getting some CT rounds. That'll be 3 in a row, not including the pistol, so that's actually a pretty good sign here for Nylem, winning some rifle rounds. I guess there was the double save, but we'll see if they can get the 4th one. This one is going to be probably the most important round determining their comeback. Like, if they drop this and that puts CLG to 15, it's going to be really, really tough.
Yeah, I mean, the experience of CLG is certainly there, and they've had so many comebacks, but the thing is that they have come close to losing huge leads as they have winning huge comebacks, and right now taking some early damage. I wonder if their confidence will be affected by an early round loss here to T-side. Aggression and Snake sitting on the smoke. You know, a lot of pressure on the R side player.
Oh,
and
they
he's
blinded him completely. They saw the molly come through. They threw a flash in response, and Tarek pushes through to find the kill. So that means Sanks is down. CLG, they still do have a lot of very low players. Let's see if they can work their way out of Boiler. It's Cutler leading the charge with the Galil. Gets a dink back, I think, through the wall, though, so only 52 damage on Deflosic. And they're going to switch it over to be Valens playing that spot. Spot, honestly, can be a little bit abused. But hey, it's in the game. Valens is going to use it. Well, that'll slow CLG down.
Yeah. Now running back over to A.
Are they trying to sell a fake with 3 at A? Oh no, bomb
they shouldn't. They shouldn't do that with the bomb player because he's going to be so late to the site. And recognizing that, are pushing back over here now. FNS is going to find an engagement and does get it as Flowsick pulls the trigger a little bit too early. They can wrap Arch now. There's so much pressure on Professor Chaos to do his job in the site. The man advantage to CLG, but the health is low. Professor can get 2 through the smoke. Now he's going to look for a 3rd, and he does get the bomb down, and that's the round right there.
I mean, this man thrives under pressure.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. The first shot had him, you know, the first shot's the easiest in that position, right? Because they have no idea where you are. He lines it up with a guy crosses. But then the second one, smoke had just bloomed. He knew it was there, sprayed down.
Just spotted something and spammed it. It was beautiful.
And that just shows that pit position, how powerful it can be. And that's going to put CLG on another save here. Cutler, because he had a little bit more money going down. Maybe he'll lead the charge because he does have at least a Kevlar vest for him.
Now Sanks going for that early B aggression, which is solid, but they don't have a smoke for it. But it's going to be a fast A play through the smoke, and Arch is kind of open here. Professor Chaos, a lot of pressure on him once again. He throws down the molly to make sure they can't cross. The flashes come out, and he does some early damage. Everyone is super hurt. There's almost 300 damage on the round so far, but no one is dead, so they don't know that. And that means options are open, having 5 alive, because it doesn't affect you negatively at all.
Flowsick, though, gets one at truck. Will fall back into the pit. Automatic now moving out of the arch. Going to be peeking at the top of middle. Oh, Valens, they're both going to go together, and the spray down will commence. They find all 3. And there was just one more there. Tarek trying to come out of the apartments. He's got a lot, yeah, getting shot down from, I think, the porch side there.
Yeah, I like how Automatic came around that arch. It's like, I'm going to peek this. You peek short, I'll peek wide. And then they got the spray down. It was beautiful. I think if they were looking at them, it would have been the exact same story. So a good cleanup there on that round, and CLG still not with that 15th round, and you know it's not over until it's over with CLG because they love exciting games, and so do we.
Peter with the op now, so we'll see how he can use that, how aggressive he's going to want to get with it on the terrorist side. He'll drop into the pit here at middle, but is not going to be greeted by anyone peeking that aggressively. Trying to clear out that bedroom. Tossing a grenade, no one there either.
Running a default here, but as we see, Nylem always controlling B. It's very good for them to do that. They shouldn't be afraid to do it, and with a proper smoke, they can leave one player there and focus on the A site, and they have this knowledge, and they know that it works, so they're going to do it. It's very great awareness from them. Now, the thing is that they have 2 players in CT. They're watching the arch wrap, but they can play 4 committed and have 1 rotate over fast to B, and it looks like they're putting some pressure at top mid, but again, they're going up against 4. It's not going to be easy for CLG. I think Nylem have a great setup for this situation unless CLG opt to rotate it back to B.
Peter trying to work out of the apartments with the op. He's going to be mollied off, and I'm really surprised. There was a lot of spam. I think it was Sanks, maybe it was Flowsick under that porch there. Yeah, it must have been Sanks. Didn't find anyone with that, and they didn't find him either even after the smoke ran out. So a lot of bullets exchanged, but honestly, no damage really done. I think Cutler maybe took a shot to the back, but now Sanks gonna slow down CLG as they'll find Finesse first. And look at the clock, there's only 15 seconds. Bomb has moved over towards B. There is a player here. Cutler gonna kill Flowsick. 2 players now coming, and at the spools with that kill, all they've got to do, actually no, there is still time to plan here. Tarek is gonna get it down with about 2 seconds to spare. No, and that's the round by time.
Wow, where did Valence come from? He just teleported into the site and stopped the plan. I think the hero right there was Sangsington, who was able to stop the initial entry fragger, who I think was Tarek, take him down, and that meant the bomb had to be picked up again, and then the plant had to be stuck, and that's where the round was lost as Valence was quick on the rotate. So a great setup from Nylem meant that they were able to shut down the aggression from CLG and push it into the really late round, which is very favorable for CTs, provided the bomb doesn't get planted, and they were able to stop that. Now, I think it was a little bit of aggressive by FNS to peek that player in the site. Now, he had a flash come up from his teammate, and he tried to make a play for his team, which is perfectly fine and something that you want to try to do, but it didn't pay off, and it makes me wonder if it would have had more success going with a lot more players towards B. Obviously, they don't realize, or they don't know, that Nylem have had that great setup where they're sending 4 players over to the A site and leaving 1 at B based on information.
Tarek doing a pretty good job of making a big distraction along with Hazed over in Banana. Meanwhile, Peter was trying to clear out the top and middle with this op. He knows that both sides, maybe there's a guy Nook, maybe there's a guy nestled over there in Porch, but no one was peeking them aggressively to greet this op. And it's going to be Tarek and Cutler to follow that up. Smokes and Molly's going out everywhere, and so, oh, there they are. They're going to smoke off the truck, trying to get the fault plant coming in. Oh, but Tarek is going to be brought down by Flowsick. Professor Chaos and Sanks, actually all 3 of them getting there on the board. Professor Chaos to find a second, and now it's just Peter going to try to save the op.
Yeah, struggling to find a T round
Saw the
here.
shadow, probably.
And definitely did, but versus 5 players. Cannot just react to that Flowsick coming out right at the right time, peeking him and taking his head off. I think it would have been a mission and a half, mission impossible, if you will, to try to save that up. And now Nylem's economy is extremely strong. They're 5 rounds away from matching up to Counterlogic Gaming as they started off that half. It was a 13-2, and now have strung together almost every single T round here after a really successful eco that kept them alive. Now, that's got to feel really good for them. Their CT side setups are working. I think what Counterlogic need to do are fight for this banana control, and that's going to be their best opportunity to get an early frag on the round and start to equalize.
Well, they find a pretty early one there, but Sank still gets one in before that. Automatic now with the nade down will bring Cutler. So FNS Hazed Peter surviving here for CLG. Not too much to do with just these Tech 9s. Bomb still up in Banana, and it's Finesse rotating into alternate. See if he can't maybe catch someone pushing down, but the case is that no one's doing that. It's just 1 arch and 1 in pit over at A. So 2 and 2 on both sides for Nylem.
Yeah, and the thing is that Peter has a gun but no armor, and the aim punch means that that's not going to be worth it for him to have. Now, Hayes has so many nades but no armor as well, so aim punch is going to be just as much of a problem for him. 45 seconds left on the clock. They want to do economic damage, but they are more concerned with just simply winning the round right now. FNS might find a frag here, but Flowsick too aware. Gets the headshot onto him, and Hayes is going to throw smoke into CT. Now they're both hurt, and Valence is going to have no problem peeking this, but puts himself in the smoke while exposing himself at the same time, so the site is kind of open here. The CT smoke isn't a great one as well, and that's going to be a problem now. They're both lit, they're eating nades, and they're getting sprayed down, and that's the end of that round. So we're 4 away from a tied-up game here from Nihilum.
We've been very close to a lot of big comebacks here at the CEVO Season 6 LAN.
The CLG's executions have been sloppy, I think, on the A site. And when they try to work up A, kind of all 5 and have no one towards B, they don't have the information that Nylem are actually leaving a man there by himself. If they decided to fight for that banana control, they'd probably come closer because they have great aim to winning a duel early in the round and maybe securing a man advantage. And opening pick is something that that hasn't really been handed to them thus far, and it's kind of because they don't want to fight for it. Now, once again, they stage up in some kind of default and are leaving Sangsington here with a teammate on Banana because, you know, why wouldn't CLG at some point try to fight for the Banana control if it seems to be the only place that they haven't been working?
Automatic thinking they were maybe going for the boost on the planter there. They're going to push through, trying to check up the logs. Automatic is able to get 2. The information is there, so that'll allow Sanks to get positioned into the B site. And it's going to be Valence coming right back around. Wow, what a cool Molotov right there, bouncing twice off these boxes. Sanks gets 1 more for that, and Valence moving in with a kill, the 180, and then a headshot. And just like that, Nylem with 11 now.
Oh my goodness, Automatic getting 2 frags on Banana there was beautiful. He was able to do his job for his team, and as we mentioned, the rotates are able to come out once you can, with that forward Banana control, take those engagements and win them. And that's how he did that for his team. And the shooting was just great across the board. Valence got that kill, did a 180, got another, and they managed to keep so many players alive. That could be discouraging to go Banana again, even though I think that would be the right play to do it again because they shouldn't have lost those trades 2 for 1. Automatic just went crazy and got 2 for free.
There they go, working fast up middle on this save. Well, no, they do force up Tech Knight armor, and there you go, the flash, beautiful one. The arts, where they expect another player. Oh, he flashes himself. It might pay the price, pulling out the M4 that he picks up. Tarek will get 2, and this is maybe it. This could be round 15 in the books for them. They're actually going wrap to B. They're going to run into Sanks, though, in the hallway, and, well, he will get 1, but they had a nice crossfire setup. Tarek brings him down. Now Automatic playing into the site, going to go in this dumpster position. FNS finds the entry there with that Tech 9, and this will just leave Flowsick, and it looks like CLG have finally done it. Pending Flowsick, he had some really nice clutches there on Cash 1v2, but I don't think he had, wasn't pulling in a 1v4.
No, this will be tough. I mean, everybody has armor, as you mentioned, on a force buy, have picked up rifles, and now in a 1v4 situation, to keep CLG away from match point, is going to look to make a play here, but doesn't have much time to make it, and does some damage there. A nice spray from him, takes a headshot onto FNS, but Cutler trades him out, and CLG secure the round. A very solid looking round, and they went for that early, fast, up mid control, and because Nylem are a little bit apprehensive to play that close arch and play that close porch, CLG realized that, you know, because we try to work up A late, and we tried to just recently work up B quickly, why don't we try to work up A quickly? And that ended up being the right strategy.
Yeah, so 15 rounds. It gets them 1 away from winning it, and it at least keeps them alive into an overtime. If it gets to that, Nylem's economy was strong. Even if they lose this one, they can probably buy again. Professor Chaos had just under $15,000, and another one I think was in 5 digits as well. And now back towards A. This time going to utilize those apartments. We've seen Professor Chaos do some crazy things here. That was when he was pit. He's playing outside of it now.
And with 4 towards the site, we've got Sangsington dropping a man right now. CLG have 4 alive, and they're all towards A. They're staged up. B control is taken by Nylem, and they're going to look to make it an A play. Hayes holding a crack on the site boxes. If he peeks the right side of this crack, he's going to find a frag, but if not, there won't be anything happening, and because we know Hayes is the lurker for the team, they're going to be working back towards the B, leaving him here. Maybe he'll make some noise, and I don't know how they're going to take this control right here, but FNS flashing through the smoke won't affect Automatic. He doesn't see it, and he gets 2 frags
Cutler.
once again. He's going to secure the round for his team, I believe, and FNS in a 1v4 situation is able to take down Automatic, but still has so much work to do. 30 seconds left on the round, no sight, no plant, and he goes down to Sangsington.
Every time they try to push that smoke, they're always, I mean, it makes sense that they're concerned about lumber or logs first, but it has actually caught them now like 2 or 3 times where they check that and there's just a player posted able to spray down 2. I'm not sure what Cutler got stuck on either. He was jumping around like a madman.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's 100% what's happening. If FNS throws a flash, and maybe they throw a D flash as well, they'll catch the player at the top of Banana there. But what they're doing is they're throwing this close flash and hoping that someone is either logs or close right under the pillars, and there's never anyone there. And so free frags happen, and Automatic capitalizes with his great aim, obviously. So that's becoming a huge problem. And now working up really quickly or getting 2 frags early by this push down mid. Is this aggression warranted? And now Sangsington trying to even up the man advantage, gets a pick and apps, but takes a lot of early damage himself and has an op at A, so they'll be comfortable playing with him too. At A site, Hayes gets a very important trade to maintain the man advantage, and now it's a 3v2. CLG are looking to win this whole game right here. Now there's 1 player left in B, that's Automatic. We've seen him get 2 frags on Banana every single time that they push up. This time he's in the site, he's eating a flash, he's calling for rotates, he's gonna look for a frag, holding an angle.
Too.
Into emo, and they're searching for him, and he's holding this angle with his life right now. Will he find one? There's one. There's two. And he's going to find a third frag and win the round for his team. A huge haul from Automatic.
Oh my gosh, if Automatic wasn't the wall that was there at B site, the rotate was so far. The player at A was all the way in pit. Like, there was no chance for a 1v3 retake, but Automatic, he gets it, and that's round 13, keeping them alive on map 2 here.
Yeah, and they got to be happy about that. I mean, that's just got to give their team so much confidence. They know they can rely on him to hold a site down by himself. And, you know, on previous rounds, he gets 2 frags for 1. On this frags, he gets 3. On this round, he gets 3. And just a beautiful cleanup from him. A huge play. One of the biggest plays in the map.
Yeah, that's real BenQ best play material right there.
Yeah, for sure.
But we can pull up the stats as we have a pause. And I think this might be a pause for a timeout, not necessarily an issue after that.
This is a team chat moment, I feel like.
Oh, wow. So let's look at some of these kill leaders. Tarek up there at 27, but even with that, CLG only able to get 2 terrorist rounds. That's all Nylem had as well, but there is still an opportunity here. About 2 more rounds to go.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough. And I feel like that was CLG's opportunity to seal it up. Having the right rotate there, knowing there's only going to be 1 person left. And, man, cannot highlight enough how important it was and how amazing it was Automatic was able to get that 3 frag.
That's actually, it's Automatic and Professor Chaos. I don't know if Professor Chaos, well, I guess neither of them were 1v1s because there was still a player alive with Automatic just very far away. But there was that very, very clutch kill over an A. That was Professor Chaos with 3. Which was really nice, and then Automatic there in B getting 3. So that was, I mean, CLG only needs 1 more, and either of those could have been it. But great individual efforts here from Nylem's players, and Scar 20 on the board here for Valens.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough. Now, Sanks holding this off angle on the archway. Want to make sure no one pushed up through the smoke and misses a frag and gets punished for it instantly. FNS gets the kill. Professor Chaos once again throws a smolly that we've seen him do. And holds off the archway. Top mid control is taken. I don't think by any means, though, that the round is secure. Valens holding the auto sniper. Not sure where from, but wouldn't expect him to not get a frag.
He's back fountain right now, sort of peeking through the foil. Oh, there he is right now, yeah. So that's a really dangerous spot with a gun like that. And even if there is a smoke or something, this is, besides this and the Negev, probably the best guns in the game to just shoot through those smokes. And actually, Flosick will find Peter. And here they go into the Scar 20, initially missing. And wow, the running onesie from Tarek will bring him down. Automatic, though, pushing behind. Is anyone watching the smoke? It does not look like it. He's going to spam. That gives his position away. Teammate is flashed. And they are working on this retake here. Going up against just pistols. Scar 20, though, on Hayes. He has no armor, though. And it's just probably 1 shot here. Cutler finds another one. Oh, 1 shot or 1 nade. Cutler can't get another. And Nylem with the retake. That's going to be 14 for them.
Managed to secure that, and wow, that was very close. That was an insane 1D from Tarek.
Yes.
Just stepped right in front of his crosshair and put him to sleep, so he won't need any NyQuil after that. Now it's on CLG to secure their last opportunity to get a second round. Just 1 more round here on T side. Only having a pistol to show for it.
No,
or
one
actually
other
a
round.
pistol
Looking for
and
their
1
third,
rifle.
yeah.
Right, okay.
And actually, well, honestly, kind of both pistols, right? The 1 other round they won was a kind of a force up Tech 9 rushing A.
Right.
So not even with the rifles.
That's a bad sign for sure.
Yeah, and here it is. This is the decider, round 30. Will it be CLG taking the series 2-0, or will it be Nylem forcing OT, keeping them in this best of 3? And either way, still in the tournament. This is that upper bracket game.
Yes. Not wanting to go into lowers. Also, not wanting to have to meet CLG in the future, knowing that they lost to them previously. Instead, would like to know that they have the ability to beat them by proving it.
Yeah.
And can do that all right here and right now. They are knocking on the step of bringing this to the 3rd map. All in all, they should win this round. Sangsington's going to take a shot through the smoke. Doesn't want to get pushed at Arch, but Cutler comes through with the entry frag. Professor Chaos is fully blind in the sight. Sangsington beats aggressively. Automatic comes out with the headshot himself. Professor Chaos holding down the pin, takes down a 1 player there, and now there's 2 left, and he's pushing into the smoke. Automatic gets a 3rd frag and a 1v1. Valens versus PTR.
Coming over from Arch with that auto sniper and a CZ. Might honestly want to consider, oh, he actually does have it in hand here. That CZ is going to peek. That's Peter. He is very, very low. And that CZ packs a punch. That nade, the molly. Oh my gosh, the molly just gets him in the fire to bring it to overtime.
We're going to OT.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Woo.
Oh my
Nylem making
God.
the run for it.
Unbelievable. After all that, we're going to OT.
And CLG, they're really being tested here on this LAN. I mean,
know.
yeah, they had a 2-0, but that took 42 rounds on Dust 2 to get it. And now they might even have the same situation here on Inferno. And as we flip over to OT, it's still going to be CLG on that T side, Nylem on CT.
Yeah, unbelievable. That was, wow, amazing. And yeah, CLG, they love exciting games, no doubt.
The hype seems to follow them, that is for sure. So clearly, rifle rounds on T-side are a problem. They did get very close. They were very close on that last one. They were close on a previous 2. But again, it's just the individual efforts here. Valen's at the very end, but before that, Professor Chaos. And it was automatic over there in Emo.
Yeah.
It was just insane.
Yeah.
And CLG cannot be happy about that. I mean, they even paused after that catastrophe at the B site.
Yeah. See, both these teams have heart, but it's an upset for CLG is the issue, right? At the same time, yeah, I don't know. This is just, it's such an impressive run for Nylem to come back on the CT side. At least it's more of a legitimate thing to watch from a casting perspective, as, you know, Inferno CT rounds, if you play it right, you should be winning them. Now, you know, in certain situations when the pressure's on, somehow the opening pick goes to the T side, that you on the CT can actually come through and come up with super clutch plays, again, automatic in the back of the site. Things like that are just what make you eligible, and you know, what allow you to justify being able to deserve such a comeback after a total of 4 rounds on T side, 1 here on Inferno.
Yeah, and Counter-Strike actually making sense again.
Yeah, exactly.
Seeing CTs win on Inferno instead of Cash and Dust 2 looking like the most T-sided maps in the game.
Yeah.
Just didn't make sense. And, well, if we get to see Dust 2, we'll see if that still holds true. I know we talked to Peter yesterday. He felt that he did not perform very well. I think this was the stat, something on Dust 2. Peter has like only 5 efficacy on Dust 2 in CEVO Season 6.
Oh, yeah?
So like that's really not Peter's map.
No, yeah, I mean, he can be very good on Dust 2. And the thing is, Peter's stats are not indicative of how much he actually does. Like his clutch potential is so much there, and the spots that he plays are so weird that that's why so many of the time CLG are responsible for the comebacks that they actually have. I think it's, you know, if you look at Peter's stats, they're never great, but he has so much game impact. He has so many highlights, and he's on the team that is performing these amazing comebacks constantly, right? So, you know, stats don't say it all. That's for sure.
All right, guys. Well, this has been exciting. We've already had 30 rounds, so let's get a little extra analysis in here. Let's see what Dust and Misled have to say about this, guys.
What an unbelievable molly right there to make that overtime happen. That looked like CLG had that wrapped up in a bow, signed, sealed, and delivered. They were going to bring it home after first half.
Oh, yeah.
The molly. That was, I thought it was a grenade at first, and then I saw it explode, and I was like, oh, he's done. He's got it. He's got it in the bag. That was intense.
I can't even believe it. I mean, we're sitting here. I bet you Finesse isn't singing anymore. I promise you that.
I don't know.
Cutler may have missed out on a high 5, but they're about to miss out on a map here if they don't get their act together. I mean, they played really good on CT side. Exactly what we said they needed to do. You know, Finesse and Tarek doing great at the B-bomb side. Even if they lost the site, they were great on their retakes on that site, or they just held it off really well no matter what. The rotations were good. I mean, they were just on point in general. I mean, even if Nylem was able to execute a site and get a bomb plan, it just seemed like CLG's retakes were on point. They only able to get a couple of rounds there. So that's what you have. And then they won pistols. So they're up, what, 14-3 at that point? Or 14-2? Yeah, 14-2. So that should have been it. And then all of a sudden, we have this crazy comeback that just, you know, goes out all along. There was a couple of points in time where I thought CLG would close it. You know, the Automatic had that big 3-kill at the B-bomb site that kind of saved the day. Insane.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, right before that round, he had the big 2K on Banana to keep them into that round, and then the 3K from Emo in the back of the B-bomb site to keep them alive. This game has had so many crazy plays coming from these teams to make this happen. I mean, the exact thing that we talked about that CLG needed to do was have a great CT side, and they had that great CT side. They switched over to T side where they've been strong in the past, at least in this LAN, they couldn't make that happen. I mean, again, struggling for that 14th, 15th round, and eventually they weren't even able to get the 16th.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be crazy to see how this plays out. Can CLG figure something out on T side? They got to get a couple of rounds here at least, but we're going to pass it back up to Lawners and Helium so we can close out this map here in overtime between CLG and Nylem.
All right, thanks, guys. And here we are into OT1. Will he be graced with another nail-biting double overtime with CLG involved up against Nylem here, who have really proven, I think, when the half goes 13-2 both ways, like they're even on skill with CLG.
100%. I mean, at least, you know, if CLG do feel like they suck at Inferno, as to quote Peter, then that's because their T sides are probably not that great. And Nylem, you know, picking the map, were able to prove that because of their CT side, they could really lock it down, and they did that with some great setups. This forward banana control that we saw in remember that CEVO Pro Placement Tournament match that we just casted recently, where players were giving up Arch and giving up Banana because they were going up against a team that should beat them because they were scared. And Nylem were not scared. They know how to play the map and they know what they need to do, and that means being aggressive. That means leaving a player to do it solo, and they picked the right guy to do it. Automatic has been locking down the Banana, and that's a huge reason their A side has been so secure overall, even though CLG have been favoring to work over to it.
All right, and no ops here on this round at all. It's just all rifles, the classic guns, the AK and the M4 A1S. We have seen some ops and we have seen some SCAR 20s, but not this round. And as a result, probably we'll see a strong economy even if a team loses 2 in a row.
Yeah, wrapping the site now are hazed through a smoke. I think they want to push through this, and the trades are coming now.
Though.
Sanks and Professor Chaos both get a frag for the team. Sanks gets a third one through the smoke and is going to look for it and doesn't find now. Now it's Tarek and FNS in a 2v3 situation, unable to even it out, leaving Tarek in a 1v3. We've seen him win these, and he doesn't get the frag. Professor Chaos secures the first CT round of OT for Nihilum.
Yeah, he had a 1v3, and there was like 10 seconds on the clock when they spotted him in Graveyard. They were able to bring him down, so even if he got those 3 kills, almost unwinnable because of the time, and that was them slowly working their way into A, but that's 16 for Nylem. However, on that CT side, so, I mean, I'm not even surprised if they take all 3 in a row and then CLG would take all 3 in a row.
I would be. I think, after that, and you got some perspective and you realize, like, how the map's being played out. We saw, for example, on Dust 2, it was so T-sided, and then we got to OT, and people were actually starting to win the CT rounds. It's like an inevitability, right? Once the map gets played out so much, you figure out what you're doing wrong and what your opponent's playing tendencies are. And sometimes the second perspective, it can come from just playing out rounds so many in a row. Flowstick holding that angle, actually giving it up, might have found a frag for it, but Tarek taking a quick peek and gets punished for it, taking a lot of damage.
Massive nade, and Professor Chaos will get the first kill. He'll bring down Cutler, one of the most consistent players there on CLG. Not going to be able to help his team out at all on this round. And Hayes, gets caught with the smoke. Has a buddy there. That's Peter throwing the pop flash. But the Molly comes out just right after that to hold Sinks. Or rather, to hold CLG, excuse me. Flash is going. That pushes Sinks back further into Arch. Going on the reload. He has it. He'll find nobody. But the TK is there, so Tarek helps him out.
Oh, Valens is letting them wrap right now and is getting aware of that as he's going to have a chance to shoot them in the back, but he has to do this quickly. Honestly, he does catch a player before he pushes into the construction, and there's one left alive. It's Peter. He gets a frag. He's in a 1v2. This is the kind of situation that Peter thrives in. He knows one at least is on Banana. He's going to look for the frag before he goes for the plant. The thing is that he only has 18 seconds left on the round. He's going to put the bomb down. He doesn't know where they both are, and Automatic looking for the early trade, gets punished for it, and Peter about to secure a really important T-side round for his team. He's looking in the 1v1. Professor Chaos with 7 HP once again in a 1v1 with Peter. He's holding this angle with his life. He knows he just has to wait here, and Professor Chaos is inching on him. He's looking for the frag. He doesn't find it just yet, and Peter, pressure to make a move, is going to take some shots off, and Professor Chaos is waiting the timeout. He still has some time to make this play. 7 health left alive, and he does get the frag. Peter secures a very important T round for his team.
Peter, he's had some nice clutches today. We saw one on Cash, where he honestly, in the 1v1, he spent more time with his knife out just jiggling around the box, and he kind of does the same thing there. He gets the opening damage in, but then just doesn't give him the peek, no opportunity, because Nylem, they can aim so well, so he just sits behind the box, plays the time, and he gets it, and that's a T round there for CLG. They only got 2 in regulation, so There you go, 1 for OT.
Yeah, just being very patient there in the 1v1. And again, Professor Chaos playing it out a little bit too slowly. Once again, I feel like giving PTR just a little bit too much respect there. And that's why he was able to win it. And that's a crucial clutch lost from Nylem, these very important T rounds. Now, mind you, he was low on health and automatic, tried to push up without him, and maybe that's why they were unable to win that 2v1. But from the angle that Peter had, he had the ability to pressure them into 1v1s. There's almost nothing they could do to double peek him, right? So that's something on their side.
Yeah, and as Kevin pointing out, that B site is completely open. It looks like we will have Valens returning there now. Had some nice plays in that last round, but yeah, he did go for the second peek, which had the 1v1 happen. And let's see what he can do. They're about to smoke him off. Smoke comes in. Oh my gosh, he picks out that flash. That smoke was not great. There's actually quite a gap there.
Oh my god, the
giving away his spot though. He's gonna throw a smoke of his own. Smoke off Banana. Might want to get that reload in. Cutler gonna take off the head of Flosic, and if CLG, a molly kill there onto Valens. A bit of karma going back that way, and it looks like CLG will be able to do it. Gonna get 2 rounds on the terrorist side, unless Sanks goes for the ace clutch, and he can't find it. And Peter pumped up, let's go, he says.
Yeah, starting off this half strong. What a round from them. Now, Valens made a little bit of a mistake there. Part of it was bad timing, pulling out a smoke, I think it was, in a situation where CT's smoke was about to come up, but that's because CLG threw it late instead of going for a full execute, and were able to encroach on the site, giving them enough time to get in. Now, the thing is, they left a solo man in the site without actually having him all the way down on Banana. The issue is that, say Valens was pushed all the way down on Banana and he died, well then your team can still rotate. But since he was a solo man in the site and got smoked out in that awkward situation and wasn't able to get a kill, then they didn't have enough time to rotate, so he made it he made himself completely useless, and I'm not sure whose decision that was.
Yeah, well, there you can see there on the screen, 2 rounds just like that in OT, matching what they got in a full 15. So they've got to be feeling very happy, and you would think, I mean, it's common sense, the team that's going to get 2 rounds on T side is probably going to win that OT, unless Nylem can step up and match that. No,
they're looking to take it and end it here right now. The thing is that if we look at Nylem's money now, they're starting here on the second half of the OT. I almost forgot. And now Tarek and FNS are opting to play really passive in the site. 2 players towards Boiler, and Peter's going to hold this arch angle until he eats a flash. We'll take a shot and fall off. Very important incendiary grenades. We see a lot of use of those, and it's very good. Many teams don't employ them.
Yeah, they've had them on Arch almost every single round when they've had the money for them, always dropping in them, trying to keep those terrorists pinched up. Because, right, the terrorists are going to throw their own smoke, so if you maul the other side, you know that they're stuck, unless they're going to either charge through a smoke or a molly, and as long as you're prepared for that, that is not a good scenario for the terrorists. And they've actually already lost Sanks. It was a nice wallbang op shot there by Peter over an Arch, but Professor Chaos, maybe Finesse heard him jump on over. Oh, we'll surprise him first.
Maintaining the man advantage, getting picks for free right now, not taking a single point of damage. Our CLG looking very good in this round.
Flash.
That was a huge flash. He could probably see his future. Now, Cutler manages to get a frag on Apps and locks that down so they can focus their attention on Boiler, and running out of options are Nylem, who are going to go up against Peter, who is holding the arch angle. Doesn't need to peek this, but with a flash from his teammate, thought he was safe, but unfortunately for him, Flosic was really close to the corner. Now they're pushing through CT, and FNS is going to run into him.
Nice
Automatic
dink,
does get the frag.
So 2-on-3, CLG with a man advantage and a large HP advantage. As Automatic got dinked down there to 8. And Tarek here, unless they smoke off, they will, but there's a bit of a gap. He sees him running through. Spams, does not connect, though only needed to graze him for that 8 damage, but didn't find it. So that'll be Nylem to get the bomb down. Holding on to the site might be another story, as all players for CLG are coming through Banana.
Yeah, this is great for them. Now, the thing is, Automatic is very low, and he's in the site, and he's going to have to play for the clutch. Flosic are going to try to do damage.
Wow.
Automatic actually finds the frag. Flosic goes down, though, and it's going to be Automatic in the back of the site, but Tarek is able to clean him up, and they're able to secure that round.
And there he is, looking calm and composed, and they're only going to need 1 more now here on that CT side of Inferno to take this and take the series.
That's the magic
2-0.
number. So close, earning it with some very impressive T rounds. Are looking to close this out in 1 OT instead of 2. which we saw them have to subject themselves to yesterday. And it should be a round in the bag, no?
I mean, you would think the way the CT rounds have been going, the only one to falter a little bit was Nylem in the first half of OT, which is rather unfortunate for them, as it might put them out of this best of 3. And make their fate just a little bit harder, because, you know, if they do work their way back up and maybe have to go against CLG in the finals or any team, they're going to have to win. Well, yeah, it would be CLG in the finals. They'd have to win 2 best of 3s, not just one.
That's a marathon, you know. You know, let alone not having been to a LAN together as a team or just having that experience in very high pressure LANs for a lot of money. Nylem have definitely not had to play 2 best of 3s in a grand final in a row, so that would be a true test for them for sure, and will be very upset to have lost this map 2-0 after a grueling comeback to bring it to OT and fighting for survival here. Sanks and Tarek both very low. Might favor Nylem, you'd say, and leaving a player over at A to make some noise, but 3 players over towards B for CLG. Fully aware and prepare for this take, and Peter with the double kill.
Wow.
What even happened?
And we've seen Tarek get a 3 kill from here earlier. He's only played this spot once before, up on top of Oranges. Nylem still trying to figure out what to do. They're trying to work B, and they've got Valens up there at A. Still trying to keep some people pinned there, but Finesse will bring him down, and they've got nothing else to do but execute 2 on 5. Tarek will get 1 from Oranges, drop down, and get the second. Low HP doesn't matter to Tarek, and that's GG. CLG, the series winner. They take it 2-0.
Man, I said it once, and I'll say it again. CLG love exciting games.
Yeah, seriously, getting us 3 overtimes, because on Dust 2 they had to go up with 2 against Elevate. Now they got 1 here on Inferno against Nylem. But I gotta say, man, it's of course congrats to CLG. They're now only at the very least 1 best of 3 or 2 maps if they can 2-0 in the finals from taking away first place here. But Nylem extremely impressed with their performance.
Yeah, I mean, me too. They've definitely proven themselves. You know, obviously the only thing on their mind is the W. Right, we can agree on that. Coming that far and coming so close, almost bringing it to a 3rd map that would have been Dust 2. I mean, that might even favor them, as we've seen CLG have their own problems there. They could have been exploitable, but couldn't bring it to that map. So unfortunately, we aren't able to see it. And CLG do advance, winning the upper bracket. So solid play.
Yeah, and the CEVO Season 6 LAN live here from the MLG Arena in Columbus, Ohio. It has been very exciting so far. We've got 1 more best of 3 today. That will be in the lower bracket, so that'll be the time when 1 team will be losing and going home. That's going to be Elevate versus Luminosity. But there were a lot of rounds because of the OT, and even Cash went the distance with the comeback being mounted, so a lot to analyze, and we're going to throw it down to Dust and Misled.
Thank you, guys. What an exciting second half that we got to see there. Definitely. I mean, as we talked about, CLG looked to have that buttoned up. They couldn't quite do it. They only got the 2 rounds that they needed to secure that overtime. And what a huge comeback from Nylem to make that an overtime game. And, man, they came up big with 2 rounds in that overtime.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it just seemed like CLG throughout that T side was trying to throw a lot of fakes. You know, they would try to engage A and then fall back late B. But the problem was they weren't getting any picks. So when they would go into A and try to throw action there and fall back to B, they weren't killing anybody. So they weren't really forcing the rotates that they wanted to make that fake work out. And that was a pretty consistent theme throughout the entire half. A lot of engaging here early in the round, trying to fall back. If that didn't work out, fall back again. There was a lot of shuffling through that mid, but they just weren't getting the picks they needed to make that type of style work. Also, there was just some brilliant individual efforts from Nylem. Look at that 3 kill from Automatic inside the B bomb site to actually win one of those big rounds to kind of lead into that overtime. So, you know, Nylem cannot be too disappointed. They had a great effort on CT side to put that into OT.
And I mean, honestly, they forced an amazing team into overtime on Inferno, which is great for them. But I mean, starting it off right off the bat, first round of overtime, they end up taking it. And then Peter, gigantic 1v3 at that B bomb site to give CLG their first round in overtime. That was huge for them, especially coming off that first round loss in that overtime.
That was big. I mean, they were struggling on T-side the entire game. In fact, they wound up getting just as many rounds on T-side in overtime as they were the entire regulation. So you can just tell how much they were struggling there. But yes, you know, that clutch from Peter to win that initial T round was absolutely crucial. Probably one of the biggest plays in the game to help CLG actually find a way to close that out. They wound up getting a second round to close out with those 2 T rounds. From there, you kind of had that gut feeling like, okay, they had a really strong CT side. This should be them finally closing the game. And sure enough, you know, they kept that strong CT play consistently through regulation and OT, and they eventually found the W.
Yeah, amazing, amazing plays there. And actually, to bring up some of them, let's go to these BenQ best plays.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a ton of them. Let's get into our first one right now, and I believe we're getting right into the Tarek.
Yeah, this was actually a big play from him in regulation. This is just basically highlighting how strong CLG's CT side was in regulation. Just absolutely either shutting down these bomb side executes or their retakes were good. But this is just an example of how they were able to just hold things off. Tarek gets those initial 3 kills on the side execution, then comes around and gets this 4th frag. And that was just most of CT side was that type of play. Maybe some retakes they had to do, but that was really the majority of it. But we did see some big BenQ top plays from Nylem throughout that second half to get it to OT. So I think we're going to take a look at a couple of those, Miss Led, if you want to take us through it.
We're getting to another one right now. We're getting into another Tarek play. Look at this, pushing up through that arch side, immediately steps up with that Rec 9, takes down Chaos, and keeps it rolling here, picks up the M4 that was dropped off Chaos, ends up taking down Valence. That opens up that CT spawn. One player here left to defend. That's going to be Sanks. He has nowhere really to go. Takes down Hayes. Tarek will trade him out at the end of that. Now Automatic is forced back into that rotate, and here comes the pinch. One coming up Banana. 2 players working their way through CT. They end up taking that down, able to get themselves into that B bomb site, and they're forcing Flowsick into an extremely tough 1 versus 4, and they molly it off at the top of Banana now. So he really doesn't have a choice. He's got to force the issue. Timer ticking down, and they ended up winning that round too off of another amazing play from Tarek.
Yeah, we showed that round because that's what ensured CLG at least getting overtime. After just getting plowed by Nylem for quite some time, not finding anything, they finally got that round. That was actually the first round they had gotten since they won Pistol to actually at least ensure an OT. And we thought maybe that might be the trigger for just the closeout, but obviously not. We saw some big plays from Nylem to actually ensure that the overtime would happen. I think we actually do have one of those right here and now with a big play from, I believe, Automatic. Yeah, here it is. What a huge clutch. Basically 1 versus 3. I know his teammates allowed, but on the other side of the map. And that was so big because I really thought CLG would actually close the game right there, but that was a huge play from Automatic.
Yeah, that was gigantic right there. And the round before that, he actually had a super crucial 2K on the top of Banana, which shut down. I mean, CLG was just pushing their way through. They were coming up Banana. They had that take right there. The only thing standing in their way from preventing them from getting into that bomb site easily was Automatic. Huge 2K, ended up getting dropped down, but that was more than enough time for his team to rotate all the way through. And then right after that, he gets the 3K. Automatic
big.
Stepped up so big for his team to keep them alive in that game, because otherwise CLG was going to bring home the W right there. No overtime if Automatic didn't do that.
Absolutely. Huge play from him. But here, let's talk about how the game actually pretty much comes to an end. So after having a tough regulation T-side, we're going to flip over to this big round from Peter, which was kind of the kickoff process to go ahead and close out the map. A big plant here inside the site after some tough exchanges. Catches this first guy. And look at the patience from Peter. Just jiggle peeking. This orange is never overcommitting. You know, his opponent's at low HP, but he's not going to chase. Just so patient. Kills as much clock as he can. And this was just a huge play.
Yeah, if you're watching this and you don't understand what's happening here, take notes on what Peter's doing. This is Counter-Strike knowledge right here. This is amazing. You stay patient, you burn clock. Even if you don't think you want to step out and try and get that frag, no reason to. Don't force the issue. Burn clock. That bomb's already down. It's your best friend, that timer. So you work that timer like he does. We've seen him do it before. We saw him do it on Cash. He can work the timer so effectively. And man, even if he doesn't get the frag there, he worked it down so low that if that guy didn't have a kit and didn't get on the bomb fast enough, that was their round win just from the timer and the bomb blowing up.
Yeah,
Amazing.
definitely. And the problem was Chaos was so low on HP, he couldn't really engage that the way that he wanted to. And Peter, knowing that, knows he can just kind of hug this. He knows that he has to make Chaos push into him with a huge health disadvantage. And he's able to close out that round. They win the next round after that to close out 2 rounds in the first half of OT. Then we flip over to CT side, and it was just a classic CLG CT side that we saw from regulation to actually win the map. So with that said, Nylem will be going to the lower bracket here. They're going to be playing against the winners of Luminosity and Elevate, which will be our next best of 3 here in just a bit. But Nylem can't be too disappointed, I don't think.
Not
I mean,
at all.
they had a cool comeback there on Cash to make that map at least somewhat interesting. It's actually 16-13 score, so, pretty good comeback in that map. And then they forced an OT in this map. And for a young team with some players like Professor Chaos and Sangston that have, virtually no LAN experience, for them to come against CLG, one of the, cream of the crop in A teams, and do as well as they did yesterday against Luminosity and then force some really good maps against CLG, I think they obviously disappointed they couldn't win that after the comeback and to get to OT. But still, there's a silver lining there. They played well.
And I mean, a lot of naysayers that came into this. I mean, if you remember this team, they were Denial. They switched over to Nylem, new sponsor there. Good team still, but they were not all their members were LAN proven. So there was a lot of question marks about them. I mean, they showed up big yesterday, and they showed up huge today. As you said, you cannot be disappointed with that loss today in any way, shape, or form. You took CLG, one of North America's best teams, into an overtime on Inferno, and you kept the first map extremely close. And I mean, almost had a gigantic comeback there. I mean, you made CLG sweat, which I would be unbelievably happy with it. It's still... They still have the ability to come back, too. They're going to have to face the winner of our next game, no matter what. And already day 2 has ended up... I never thought we were going to top day 1 already with those overtimes with Elevate. We've already topped it. We're going forward, and we still have another game to go tonight.
Yeah, we definitely do. We are going to have Elevate taking on Luminosity in just a bit. We also may have a winner's interview coming up as well from that last game. But we are going to take just a quick break while we reset and get ready to bring you the rest of Season 6 CEVO LAN.